Hello. We're going to do a little standing practice. And what you're going to need for this practice is a yoga mat, a couple of blocks if you have them. And remember, if you don't have blocks, you can use some books. You could use the seat of a chair, anything that's going to raise the floor for you. And we might need a yoga strap. And remember that if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a belt from your bathrobe or even a belt that you use to hold up your pants. So you can pause this, go get what it is that you need, and then meet me back here. Okay, I assume you have everything that you need. And the first thing that we want to do is kind of get our bodies warmed up. So we're going to start with our feet, just coming up onto our toes. I'm thinking this practice might be about 30 minutes. We'll see. And then over to the other side. And while we're warming up, I want you to remember that this is your practice. It's not my practice. So when you're in the yoga space with me, I want you to be listening to your body more than you're listening to my voice. Keep yourself safe. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it or modify. Or rest. Yeah, just sit and rest at any time. And you can see I'm switching back and forth on my feet a little bit, so you can switch back and forth. We're going to soften our knees and circle. And when I do this, I want to make sure that my feet see some of this action. So you can see my toes lift up a little bit. And then changing direction. Then taking our feet a little bit wider, turning both feet out, softening the knees and circling the hips. I find that if I keep my knees a little bit soft when I'm doing this, it just works better for me. And then change direction. Then coming back to center, we're going to reach down with the right hand. And then coming back up, and as we exhale, reach down with the left. Breathing in and up. Whew. Exhale to reach. Breathing in and exhale. Now this time when we're reaching down on the right, let's take the left arm up and over. Reach down on the left, take the right arm up and over. This time when we reach over with the left, we're going to roll that left shoulder down and reach a little bit. And then taking the right arm up and over, rolling the shoulder down, little bit of a reach. And then come back to center. Step your feet back together again, and let's roll both shoulders a few times. Then we're going to turn our palms out, breathe in and take our arms up, and exhale the hands to the heart. Breathing in, the arms reach up, and exhale. And one more time, breathing in, taking the arms up, exhaling, bringing the hands to the heart, maybe closing the eyes for a moment or maybe looking toward the tip of the nose. Taking a moment to touch base with the breath and perhaps to set an intention for our time together today. What is it you are looking for from this practice? And when that feels complete for you, bring the arms down. Let's fan out our toes. Let's stretch back our heels. Distributing the weight evenly on the soles of the feet, then lifting through the instep right up through the center of the body, aligning the ears with the shoulders with the hips. And we're going to bring our arms up, and we're going to step to triangle distance. excuse me, triangle distance is the ankles in line with the inside of the wrist. We can turn the right foot out. We're going to turn the left foot in. Take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're reaching out, folding out over this right hip, finding our triangle. So in triangle, we're trying to keep our torso facing forward. We're trying to keep length on both sides of the torso. And so sometimes if you're reaching, trying to grab the floor, you get that little bit of an arc. So you don't have to reach for the floor. The hand can be on the thigh, could be on the shin, could be on a block. Let's go ahead and breathe in and come up. Turn our feet to the left. And when we're turning this foot out, we want to take the thigh with it. So taking our thigh out as well, and then taking a breath in, and as we exhale, reaching, folding out over that left hip and finding triangle. So these left ribs come forward. The right ribs are melting toward the floor. And then we're going to breathe in and come on back up. Let's rest our arms, turn our feet back to the right. So right foot turns out, left foot turns in. We're still at triangle distance. We're going to extend the arms again, take another breath in, and exhale to triangle. And again, just because my hand is on my shin doesn't mean that that's where your hand should be. Think more about, what is my torso doing? Is it lengthening along both sides? Are the right ribs coming forward? We're going to breathe in and come back up. When we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee until it's over the ankle. So we're coming into a narrow stanced warrior two. Let's turn to look over the middle finger of the right hand. We want to draw in and up in the lower abdomen, keeping our shoulders relaxed, but our arms strong. And then turning our palms to the ceiling, we're going to take the arms up as we straighten the right leg, turn our feet to the left, bring our arms parallel to the floor, and then find triangle on the left. Nice, easy breathing, no struggle. Breathing in and up. Exhale, bend the left knee until it's over the ankle. Look over the middle finger of the left hand, narrow warrior two. Turn the palms toward the ceiling again. As we breathe in, take the arms up, straighten the leg. Yes, we're going back over to the right. So turn that right foot out, turn the left foot in, bring the arms parallel to the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale to triangle. Do you notice anything happening in your hips? This is our third triangle on this side. Is anything happening for you? What do you feel? Let's breathe in and up. Exhale, narrow warrior two. Remember, we're pressing out through our fingertips, keeping our shoulders relaxed. Keeping this right knee over the ankle. It's going to want to tip in, but make sure it doesn't. Breathing in, the left hand comes to the thigh, the right arm reaches up. We're going to straighten that right leg, and we're going to float back to triangle. And breathing in and up. Let's bring the hands to the heart to give our arms a little bit of a rest as we turn our feet back to the left. Remembering to take that thigh with us, and then extending the arms, taking a breath in. Exhale to triangle. Breathing in and up. Narrow warrior two, so that left knee is just over the ankle. The torso is going to stay perpendicular to the floor. The arms are strong. Reverse warrior, so the right hand comes to the thigh, the left arm reaches up. We're going to straighten our left leg and then slowly float back to triangle. And then breathing in and up, turning our feet forward, stepping our legs together, and bringing the arms down. Wow, I can feel my hips. Let's go ahead and try a little balance. So we're gonna practice tree pose. There's a couple different ways to do this. You can have something in front of you that you're holding on to. You could stand with your back resting against a wall. You could stand sideways to the wall. I'm going to stand just about 2 inches away from my wall. So if I should need some help, all I have to do is take my fingertips to the wall. Once you've got yourself set up, we're going to fan out our toes. We're going to stretch back our heels, and we're going to lift from the instep right through the center of the body again, aligning the ears over the shoulders over the hips. Let's close our eyes for a moment. Notice how the body feels, how the body occupies the space. And then bringing awareness to the soles of the feet. Think about rooting through the soles of the feet, becoming grounded, anchored. And then with our eyes open, we're going to shift awareness to this right leg. We're going to bring the left leg up. Now, the toes could be on the floor. The toes could rest on a block with the foot on the calf. Our intention is to keep our hips square to the wall in front of us while this left knee points to the wall on the left. So you find a place for your foot where that can happen. So it could be here. It could be here. Find a place where that can happen. Notice how I'm using the wall for my stability. I'm not cheating. I think sometimes we get it in our heads that something like that is cheating, and it's not at all. Stay strong in the core, lengthening through the waist. If you like, you could extend the arms up. And then we'll turn our palms out, press the hands down, and bring the foot down. Whew. Now, if we come out of tree and we're letting go of this big exhalation like I just did, it could mean that we're not really breathing very well while we're in tree. So when we do the left side, when we're standing on our left foot, I want us to think about our breath. I want us to remember to breathe. So shifting awareness to the left, the right foot is going to come up. We find a place where the hips can remain square to the wall in front of us, and this right knee can point to the wall on the right. Lifting through the abdomen, lifting the heart, breathing. And then turning the palms out, pressing the hands down, and bringing the foot down. Taking the feet a little bit apart, softening the knees and circling the hips. Were you breathing that time? I had a teacher once that said that tree pose is a metaphor for life, because there's going to be those days in life where everything is solid, you are so well balanced, everything is great. And then there's going to be some days where there's no balance at all. And he says that on those days, you have to remember to smile. And so when you're having a day and you're practicing tree pose and the balance just is a little bit wobbly for you, even though the day before it was perfect, on the days that the balance is a little bit wobbly, be sure to smile. So I remember that and I smile every time I'm about to fall over. Let's come back to mountain pose. So spreading the toes out nice and wide, stretching back the heels, drawing in and up. And you know what? I'm going to stand sideways to you. So drawing the abdomen in and up, aligning the shoulders or the ears over the shoulders over the hips. I want you to take another moment to feel what you feel in your body. Become aware of the sensations. Part of our practice of yoga is remaining present. And the way that we do that is by feeling the body in space. If we know how the body feels, we can not be any place other than the present moment. We're going to step our right foot forward. We're going to step our left foot back. I try to keep my ankles in line with the center of my hips. That supports stability for me. It keeps me a little bit more stable. And we want to roll this left hip forward. We want both hips facing the wall in front of us. We're going to bring the arms down by our side, turn the palms out. Breathing in, we're going to take both arms up. We're going to exhale and bend our right knee until it's over the ankle. We're lengthening through the torso, thinking about creating space between the top of the right thigh and the lower abdomen. We want to lift our heart, but we want to keep our lower ribs in. And then when we exhale, we're going to fold forward and we're going to bring our fingertips down to our blocks or maybe the floor. I have some funny shaped blocks that I like to use sometimes. And we're going to straighten both legs and we're going to extend through our spine. So again, your fingers could be on the floor, but it might mean that your spine is rounded. And remember, we want a long spine. So bringing your hands up off of the floor, either with some blocks or maybe with your hands on a wall or on a bookshelf. That could be useful as well. We're pressing down through the base of the right big toe and we're anchoring through the left heel. A couple more breaths. And then we're going to bend our right knee until it's over the ankle. Press through the soles of both feet, reaching the arms forward, pulling ourselves up. Turning the palms out, bringing the arms down, stepping our left foot forward, stepping our right foot back. Now remember, our back foot is turned out just slightly. Our hips face the wall in front of us, and the ankles are in line with the center of the hips. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale to warrior one. Again, lengthening through the torso, lifting the heart. There's a sense that the back of the right thigh is lifting toward the ceiling. Taking a breath in as we exhale, we're folding out over this left thigh. And again, maybe the fingertips find a bookcase. Maybe they find some blocks or a stack of books. Maybe they find the floor, but only if your spine can stay long. We don't want a rounded spine. We want an extended spine. Couple more breaths. Let's bend our left knee until it's over the ankle. We're pressing through the soles of the feet, stretching the arms forward, pulling ourselves back up to warrior one, turning the palms out, pressing the hands down, stepping the back foot forward. Now we're going to make our way down to the floor, and we're going to go through downward dog, and that might not be for everybody. So just know that we're going to end up sitting on the floor. So however you get there safely. For those of you who would like to come along for downward dog, we're taking both arms up. We're exhaling, softening the knees, placing the hands on the mat, and stepping back to downward dog. So we have a nice long spine. We're pressing through the pads of the fingers, sending our hips toward the ceiling, sending our heels toward the floor. Now, if you're in downward dog, you might want to take your dog for a little bit of a walk, bending one knee and then the other. And then we're going to come down to child's pose. So the knees are on the mat, the hips move toward the feet, and maybe the forehead is resting on the hands or on the arms. And then let's breathe in and curl up. We're going to come to our seated position. And to be honest with you, you could actually move to a chair if you wanted to, if you know that that's going to be more comfortable. If you're on the floor though, and you're comfortable on the floor, the legs could be crossed, the legs could be stretched out in front of you, whatever is going to be most useful. We begin our cool down by just circling the torso and the hips. And changing direction. And then coming back to center, we want to do a little flexion and extension, kind of a seated cat-cow pose. So tipping the pelvis forward and lifting the heart, and then rounding the spine and leaning back. Breathing in and up. Exhale and round back. Let's do maybe 2 or 3 more. And then the next time you're breathing up, on the exhalation, fold forward. Could mean that your elbows stay on your knees and you round your spine. It could mean that the elbows are on the floor and you round your spine. And then as we're breathing in, we'll go ahead and curl up one vertebrae at a time. We're going to take an ear toward a shoulder. And then up and over to the other side. And come back to center. Tuck the chin to the chest. And turn your head from right to left. The next time you're looking down, go ahead and bring the head back up. And you have a choice now. You can either lie down on your mat or you could stay seated. If you choose to stay seated, maybe bring your back against a wall or someplace where you have some support. If you're lying down, have your feet at least hip distance apart and let your arms rest far enough away from the torso that you can rotate the arms so that the palms face the ceiling. If you're seated, the hands can rest on the knees or in the lap. It's up to you. As you settle into this, you might close your eyes or you can choose to look toward the tip of your nose. Let's bring some awareness to the movement of the breath. You might notice that the exhalation is beginning to lengthen until it's longer than the inhalation. And as you exhale, feel the weight of the body settle. If you're seated, feel the shoulders dropping away from the ears. If you chose to lie down, feel the arms and the legs become heavier. Each exhalation dropping us into a deeper level of stillness, deeper level of peace and calm. Our practice now is to remain present with the breath and the body. So if you notice that you are wandering away, be kind, be loving, but gather that awareness and bring it back to the heart center. And with your next breath, begin to bring a little bit of movement into the fingers, into the toes. And as you do, you might notice the breath begins to change. And as the breath begins to change, you might offer yourself a stretch, whatever feels good to you. And then we'll bring the palms together at the heart. Thank you for watching. Thank you for practicing. Thank you for being part of this yoga container. Keep safe, keep practicing, and I hope you learned something. Namaste. Full disclosure, there's one thing missing from this practice that you might think about doing, and that is a twist. When we do our practices, at least when I'm designing a practice, I like to take the spine into all its full range of motion. So there's a forward fold, there's a back bend, there's a lateral stretch, and there's a twist. And we were heavy kind of on the forward and the back today, but we missed twisting. So if you feel like you're missing something, do a little twist. And if not, we'll catch it in the next practice. Oof. Bye.